Millions of drivers have discovered that their own cars were quietly logging every detail of how they drive, every hard brake, every rapid acceleration, every late-night trip, and then selling that information to insurance companies without telling them. Premiums spiked for some of these people, and others lost their coverage entirely, and almost none of them had any idea it was happening until the damage was already done. We're going to break down exactly how this pipeline works, who built it, how far it reaches, and what regulators are actually doing about it. If you've bought a car in the last several years, this one directly applies to you. The story that ripped this open starts with a man named Ken Dahl. Dahl is a 65-year-old software company owner who lives near Seattle, and in 2022 he noticed his car insurance premium had climbed by 21%. Nothing about his driving had changed. No accidents, no tickets, no claims. When he started shopping around for a better rate, every other insurer came back with quotes that were just as high, which made no sense to him. An insurance agent eventually told him to pull something called a LexisNexis Consumer Disclosure Report, a document he'd never heard of but was legally entitled to under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. What showed up stunned him. The report ran 258 pages, and more than 130 of those pages cataloged every single time he or his wife had driven their leased Chevrolet Bolt over the previous 6 months, a total of 640 individual trips. Each entry listed the start time, the end time, the distance driven, and a breakdown of any speeding, hard braking, or rapid acceleration recorded during that trip. One entry from a random Thursday morning in June noted the car had traveled 7.33 miles in 18 minutes, with 2 rapid accelerations and 2 hard brakes. General Motors had been feeding all of that data to LexisNexis, a massive data broker, through a program called OnStar Smart Driver. LexisNexis processed the raw numbers into a risk score and made it available to insurers, and 8 different insurance companies had pulled Dahl's file in a single month. His reaction was blunt. He called it a betrayal and said they were taking information he never realized would be shared and using it to mess with his insurance. And that's when the floodgates opened. After the New York Times published his story in March of 2024, drivers across the country started requesting their own LexisNexis reports and finding the same thing. Online forums for GM vehicle owners, Chevy Bolt groups, Corvette communities, Cadillac enthusiasts, all of them lit up with people discovering their cars had been reporting on them. Corvette owners were especially frustrated because the car is literally designed for hard acceleration, and they were racking up what LexisNexis classified as acceleration events just by driving the vehicle the way it was built to be driven. One owner complained about getting flagged for a track day at a professional racetrack. A Cadillac driver down in Palm Beach County, Florida, had it worse. 7 insurance companies denied him coverage outright, and when he finally pulled his LexisNexis report to find out why, it showed 6 months of driving activity, with entries flagging hard braking and hard acceleration over and over. His response was that he didn't understand how the car was defining those terms, because his passengers' heads weren't hitting the dashboard, and he wasn't peeling out. When he finally landed a policy through a private broker, the price came in at double what he'd been paying before. So here's how the pipeline actually functions. Modern connected cars, meaning vehicles with internet connectivity, built-in apps, and telematics hardware, generate data constantly while you drive. Your car logs your speed, your braking patterns, how aggressively you accelerate, how sharply you take corners, the time of day you're on the road, the distance of each trip, and in many cases your precise GPS coordinates. Automakers then feed that data to brokers. The 2 dominant names in this space are LexisNexis Risk Solutions and Verisk Analytics, and what these companies do is take raw driving data and convert it into risk scores that insurers use to price your premiums, approve your application, or deny you coverage altogether. The scale they operate at is hard to overstate. By June of 2022, the LexisNexis Telematics Exchange alone had collected data from over 10 million vehicles and logged 252 billion driving miles, which works out to 19.5 million years of continuous vehicle logging. Their 2023 annual report revealed that 86% of all new auto insurance policies issued in the United States that year relied on LexisNexis products in some way, and the company's total revenue cleared $3 billion, with roughly 40% of that coming from insurance clients. According to telemetry, an automotive strategic advisory firm, about 90% of new cars on the road now collect information on driving behavior. If you've bought a new car recently, the odds are overwhelming that it's gathering data on you right now. And here's the thing that genuinely angers people. Technically, you agreed to it. That agreement lives buried deep in the fine print, mixed into the stack of documents you sign at the dealership alongside loan terms, warranties, and price sheets, or tucked into the terms of service you click through when setting up your car's infotainment system. One auto analyst framed it this way: technically they had permission, but it's something people should be aware of, and they're not. In some cases, dealership salespeople enrolled buyers in programs like OnStar Smart Driver themselves, sometimes motivated by enrollment bonuses, which meant drivers walked out of the dealership having no idea their car was about to start filing reports on them. GM caught the spotlight first, but they are far from the only company doing this. The Mozilla Foundation, the nonprofit behind the Firefox browser, published a landmark privacy review in September of 2023 that examined 25 major car brands, and every single one of them failed. All 25 earned a privacy not included warning label, which made cars the worst product category Mozilla had reviewed in the 7-year history of its buyer's guide. Not one brand passed. What Mozilla's researchers uncovered went well beyond driving data. According to their findings, car companies can collect everything from your driving habits and location history to your health information, your facial expressions, and your genetic characteristics. 6 car companies claimed in their privacy policies that they could gather genetic information. Nissan's policy mentioned collecting data on sexual activity, health diagnoses, and genetic data, and Kia referenced collecting information about drivers' sex lives. More than half of the brands reviewed, 56%, said they could hand your data over to government or law enforcement based on nothing more than an informal request, not a court order and not a subpoena, just someone asking. Mozilla reached out to all 25 brands for comment. 3 responded. Mercedes-Benz answered some questions. Honda pointed to its public privacy documentation without clarifying anything. Ford told Mozilla they'd discussed the request internally and decided not to participate. But this story extends beyond car companies, because one of the most aggressive data collection operations came from an insurance company. In January of 2025, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit against Allstate and its data analytics subsidiary called Arity. According to the suit, Allstate and Arity had been running a tracking operation since roughly 2015. They built a software development kit, an SDK, and paid app developers millions of dollars to embed it into popular third-party mobile apps like Life3, 60, Routely, and Fuel Rewards. Allstate specifically targeted apps that already used location features, so users wouldn't notice a new permission request. When consumers downloaded those apps onto their phones, they unknowingly installed Allstate's tracking software along with them. That software monitored their location and movement in real time, capturing data every 15 seconds or less across approximately 40 million active connections. The Texas AG's office alleges that Allstate used this system to collect data from over 45 million Americans, amassing trillions of miles of location data and building what the lawsuit describes as the world's largest driving behavior database. Allstate then used that database for its own underwriting and sold access to other insurers, who relied on it to justify premium increases, coverage denials, and policy non-renewals. That case marked the first time a state attorney general had ever enforced a comprehensive data privacy law. Texas is seeking penalties of at least $17,000 for each violation of the state's insurance code and data privacy law, plus $10,000 per data brokering violation, plus full restitution for every affected consumer. While Allstate tracked people through their phones, Toyota was doing something similar through its vehicles, and it produced one of the clearest examples of just how invasive this data sharing has become. Philip Siefke, a driver from Eagle Lake, Florida, bought a 2021 Toyota RAV4 in March of that year. Nearly 4 years later, in January of 2025, he went online to sign up for a new insurance policy with Progressive. During the process, he specifically opted out of Progressive's Snapshot program, their voluntary driving data tracking tool. A pop-up appeared on his screen right after. Progressive already had his driving data, including a hard brake from the day before. Less than 24 hours had passed between that brake and Progressive knowing about it. Siefke called Progressive and demanded an explanation for how they had his information, and a customer service rep told him the data came from Toyota. When he called Toyota on the 21st of January 2025, a representative told him he'd unknowingly signed up for a trial data sharing program when he purchased the car, and that he needed to opt out to stop it. Nobody had ever clearly explained any of this to him. 6 months later, when his policy came up for renewal, the rate had jumped above $400 a month with no explanation at all. In April of 2025, Safety filed a class action lawsuit in federal court in Texas against Toyota, Progressive, and Connected Analytic Services, a data aggregator affiliated with Toyota. The suit alleges violations of the Federal Wiretap Act, the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, and invasion of privacy. But here's where it gets worse. A federal judge ruled in December of 2025 that the entire case had to go to arbitration because when Safety bought his car and accepted the connected services terms, he'd also unknowingly agreed to an arbitration clause and a class action waiver. It's buried consent, stacked on top of buried consent. John Yanchunas, the attorney representing Safety at Morgan & Morgan, framed the core problem simply: the consumer is unaware it is happening. So, what has the government actually done about any of this? The biggest regulatory action to date is the Federal Trade Commission's case against General Motors. A settlement reached in January of 2025 was finalized a year later, in January of 2026, as a 20-year consent order. Under that order, GM is banned for 5 years from selling geolocation and driver behavior data to consumer reporting agencies. For the full 2 decades, the company must obtain clear, affirmative consent from consumers before collecting, using, or sharing any connected vehicle data. GM also has to offer opt-out mechanisms for all U.S. consumers and is required to delete or destroy all previously retained driver data within 180 days, while also instructing third parties to do the same. Former FTC Chair Lina Khan laid out the severity of the case when it was first announced, saying that GM had monitored and sold people's precise geolocation data and driver behavior information, sometimes as often as every 3 seconds. 3 seconds. And despite all of that, GM paid no financial penalty. Not $1. The California Privacy Protection Agency took a separate action, fining Honda $632,500 in March of 2025 for violating the California Consumer Privacy Act. That enforcement came out of a broader investigation into connected vehicle manufacturers that CPPA had been running since July of 2023, and Honda was found to have blocked consumers from opting out, demanded excessive personal information for privacy requests, and failed to properly contract with its ad tech providers. But industry groups have been open about what these actions actually change. The Consumer Data Industry Association, which is the trade group representing data brokers, wrote in a letter to the FTC after the GM settlement that driving behavior data will still be used in the marketplace, and it will still impact consumers' insurance premiums. Even with GM specifically banned from selling this data, the infrastructure and the broader market haven't gone anywhere. And that captures exactly where things stand right now. No comprehensive federal data privacy law exists in the United States to govern any of this. The FTC has brought exactly one case, against GM, in this entire space. Enforcement is happening state by state, with no coordination and no uniformity. The Texas AG has been the most active, with lawsuits filed against both GM and Allstate, plus ongoing investigations into Toyota, Ford, Hyundai, and Fiat Chrysler. California's CPPA continues its connected vehicle probe, but no single authority has the mandate or the resources to take on the entire industry at once. The Electronic Frontier Foundation and other advocacy groups have pushed for legislation built around data minimization, meaning companies should only collect data that's genuinely needed for a service the consumer asked for, paired with real opt-in consent that can't be hidden in fine print or manipulated through confusing interface design. The auto industry's response, delivered through the Alliance for Automotive Innovation, has stayed consistent. They titled a 2023 statement, "No, your car isn't spying, it's keeping you safe." Their position is that connected vehicle data supports proper car functioning and improves safety, things like alerting the automaker when a car needs servicing. That framing sidesteps the question at the center of all of this, which is this: at what point did keeping you safe turn into selling a 258-page dossier of your driving habits to 8 insurance companies in a single month? If you own a connected car right now, you do have the right under the Fair Credit Reporting Act to request your own LexisNexis Consumer Disclosure Report. That document will show you what driving data has been collected and which companies have accessed it. You can also check your car's connected services settings and disable telematic sharing if that option exists. None of that will undo what's already been gathered, but it can cut off the flow going forward. Data has been called the new money. Companies harvest it, aggregate it, and profit from it. The question that remains open, in courts, in state legislatures, and in the daily lives of millions of drivers, is whether you actually get a meaningful say in any of that.